Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Super Saturday afternoon and another episode of Learning with Live Experiences. So, today we are going to have discussion on something new. Yeah, having a good day. Yeah, having a good day. So, today we are going to talk about a very important topic, and this is something all of us must have gone through this kind of a feeling sometime or other in our life. We, uh, yeah, Divya, please join. I'm waiting for you to join. I'm sending an invite to Saloni. I'm sending you an invite to see if you can accept that and join. Hi, Divya. Hi, Nasiha. Welcome for another Saturday afternoon. And I don't know. I can see a request from Saloni, but why is not getting accepted? I have sent you invite, Saloni. Just see if you can accept that and come on. And Divya, I have sent a request to you also. And so while Saloni and Divya join us on the live, I was talking about. Uh, okay, Nasia, thank you. Yeah, you're a big support. And I, I can see your request and I'm trying to accept it. Again, I don't know what is happening. Let me see. Can you see me, Divya? I can't see you. I can't see you. Have you joined? If you have, can you speak? Yeah, now I can see you, Divya. I have accepted. Go live with Divya. Let's see. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, Divya, you're there.
just one. I think I have to turn it like it's.
Yeah. You have to turn the camera. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Is
Yeah.
it
Hi, Divya.
fine?
How are you? Finally.
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
Good. And I think Saloni is also. Hi, Saloni. Welcome.
Hello.
Finally, we met you.
Hi,
Good.
Saloni.
Hello.
Hmm.
Hello.
So, how are you all? How are you doing?
Great.
Okay. So Saloni and Divya, I was talking about fear. At some point or other in our life, we have experienced fear of different kinds. Like initially, when we were kids, we used to be scared of going out on our own. We always wanted the company of our parents. Then, as we grew up, we also learned a different kind of fears, like fear of failure, fear of rejection. fear of being judged, fear of being, uh, you know, made fun of, or fear of like everything, a fear of the unknown, and have you experienced in your life these kinds of fears, and or any of these kinds of fear, and how has been your experience? So can you share with us? Because I know, Saloni has overcome a lot of challenges in her life very recently, and even Divya has also overcome some of her challenges. And so, would you like to share your experiences of fear? What kind of fears have you gone through, and how did you overcome them? Firstly, how do you face them and then overcome them? So who would like to go first? Let's go to Divya. Okay, yeah, Divya, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I mean, still, I mean, I won't say that I've totally overcome it. Like, I am really scared of speaking in front of people. And
Okay.
like to tell you a incident from my childhood. So, I mean, I used to be very quiet and a shy person. So, once, when I entered the school one day, like I was given a paper and I was told that in the assembly, you need to say the news.
Oh,
So I was, I mean, I had never done anything like this before. So I was really scared and I had a lot of fears that how will I do that? And then, one of my friends who used to be really, who used to participate in a lot of debates and dramatics and all. So I went to her and I told her, I mean, just 10 minutes were left for the assembly to start. So I told her that, I can't do this. I've never done this. So she said, don't be scared. Just do one thing, go on the stage, see, I mean, stand and just see in front and just imagine that there is no one over there
mhm.
who's listening to you. You are
Oh,
just reading it yourself. So that really worked and that really helped me. That trick really worked. Yeah. So that's what
okay.
I what yeah that
Thank you,
this
Divya.
is how much
Wow.
scared I
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Saloni, what about you?
See, again, I would say that fear is an emotion, right?
Uh,
Like it has to be there. It is required. You, if
yeah.
you know there is no emotional fear, you cannot be driven to do something ultimately. If you don't have any fear of survive, you might lose your job. If you don't have any fear of what will happen to you if you take a decision, you will not give a thought about it. So I
Yes.
think that should be there, but and it should not go to an extent that cripples your day to day life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It should not cripple your day to day life. Like if I really fear down, I would not say fear, but there will be a small, kind of thought, what might happen if I take a decision. The
Mhm.
fear of taking a decision. I think even that
Yeah.
is a basic fear people have.
Yes.
That
Yes.
if I take a decision, what if things go wrong? What
Mhm.
will I do in that case?
Yes.
And that fear does not let them take any decision in life.
Yes.
They are not even in their comfort zone. They are feeling that discomfort, but the discomfort of taking that decision is much more than what they are feeling right now, or they don't want to address it. So
Yeah.
I have had faced a lot of fear in my life, and one of the biggest was when I actually moved from a different city. So when I came to Pune, I literally didn't had money with me. I didn't knew anyone here. This was a completely new city for me. So I was really afraid. How am I going to make it here? How am I going to go ahead? You know how things will turn up for me in my life. But I think the most important thing that helped me was that particular will. Like, now I have come. There is no backing out. Like, I cannot go back now. Whatever it is, it has to be here and I have to fight it out. That focus helped me overcome that fear. That inner will to achieve something, that inner will to maybe, survive all these difficulties, that helped me come out of that fear. And definitely support, people's support is very important. People who are, your dear and near ones. their support is very important in the same
Yes.
case.
Yes.
You will be afraid. It's not that you will not be, because that's an emotion, but it's important that that doesn't cripples you, and there are people around you to support you to go through the challenges around you. I think that's
Absolutely.
very important.
Yeah. So Nasia says that my niece yesterday said she was afraid of the dark. So I had to go get the toys in the room where the light was off. And this is what I told her. The okay.
Talking of Nasiha, I remember a story where, like, my own story. I used to be afraid of dark, a lot when I was a child.
Mhm.
So I used to, sleep with my brother in the room. And whenever I had to go to the washroom, I had to literally wake him up so that he can go ahead and, switch on the lights, and then I can go. I remember one day he said, "Khud kar lo." Like, he was not in a mood to wake up. And it was important. Like, I was having a pressure to pee. So I just cannot hold on there. I just went there, even if I was afraid like anything. I switched on the light and I did that. And from that day itself, am never afraid of it. Like, I live alone, and I have been living alone since a long time. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore when it comes to like these small things, in the rooms or in the house, something like that. So I
Yeah,
think it's important that you take that step.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Nasia says that she told her niece, she took her niece into a lighted room and asked her to close her eyes. And then she asked her, "Are you feeling scared?" She said, "No." And then she told her that it is dark. Yeah, you're not afraid. So that is how she realized that she can actually overcome her fear of
Absolutely.
darkness. Yeah. And one more thing at times I realized that when we were talking about this last time, somebody mentioned the definition of fear is false evidence appearing real. So at times, our mind plays tricks on us, and or the subconscious mind, and that also creates that fear, which is actually not real. It is imaginary fear, which we have, which is basically it could be either used as an excuse for not doing something. As you mentioned that if you're not sure whether if I do something I'll be successful or not, and that at times holds you back from taking that step because fear of failure, yeah, is there. Similarly, our mind plays a lot of tricks on us and our thoughts also at times, because it could be that I do not have confidence in my capabilities. I am not confident of doing things, as Divya mentioned. She was scared of going on the stage and speak in a public situation, and her friend said, "Imagine there's nobody there, and you just go out and speak." So this is the certain thing which we then also there's another fear, kind of fear, which is actual fear, wherein your physical, it is like a fear of physical harm, fear of getting injured, fear of getting hurt. And that you must realize when we were trying to learn cycling. That I think I always remember when you're trying to learn how to cycle, you are not able to balance, and you need somebody to hold your cycle from behind. And it gives you a sense of security that you are not going to fall and you are not going to get hurt. And after some time, when you start pedaling, suddenly you realize that nobody is holding your cycle. You are doing it on your own, and suddenly you will fall down.
No,
And
even in my cycling days, when I was learning cycle and I fell down from the cycle, and the person who was actually teaching me was, "Beta gir gayi."
हाँ,
Matlab, it was all hurt, I had bruises in my knees and hands and everyone. So I was like, हाँ मैं गिर गई थी, कुछ चोट लग गई मुझे. हाँ, अब सीख जाओगी तुम cycle. Because now you will not have the fear of falling down, because that, incident
yeah,
has already happened to you.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's like facing your fear is the only way where you can actually overcome it. Running
Yes.
from it will not overcome it.
Yeah, running from your fear will not help you.
Yes.
You have to face. You have to face it head on. Whether it is a physical fear, or if it is a imaginary fear that is there in your mind. So can you share anything from your experience wherein you faced a peculiar kind of situation wherein you were very very scared, or and then how did you overcome that situation? Yeah,
So
who would like? Yeah, okay. Saloni.
I think we all face that fear in a day-to-day life. I think sometimes our brain, as you were saying, it needs something concrete. So
Yeah.
there's always this fear of
Mm.
uncertainty. The brain, which it does not know, will have to fill that void with certain kind of emotions, right? And it cannot be uncertainty cannot be filled by something happy, like I'm uncertain. Okay, that's fine. Your brain needs an evidence exactly what is about to come. So it fills that void with fear because you don't know exactly what's happening. And
Yeah.
that happens in our day-to-day life. I fear a lot of things in my day-to-day life. I still remember when I lost my job, I just got a call from HR that we have a meeting.
Mm.
The very first thought in my was like, what have I done wrong? Right. So I think the fear of uncertainty, right? Because you have experienced it, and fear is mostly experience based also,
Mhm.
trauma based also.
Yes.
Like I have already had a similar situation wherein someone has called me. Like when I lost my dad, I still remember at 4 a.m. and 4:30 in the morning, I got
Mm.
a call, and
Mm.
I heard that bad news. I think that created a lot of trauma, and I know for sure that every time I get a call at 3:30 or 4 a.m. in the morning, the first emotion that will come is like what wrong might have happened,
Yeah.
what bad might have happened.
Absolutely.
So I think we all live with those kind of traumas in our day to day life, but what's important is how you heal through it. It's not that you can get away with it completely, but what you can do is you can overcome them by making your own state of mind more powerful.
Mm.
That is what we usually do, and through our coaching, where I have also applied that in my life, how that has changed by knowing my own self, my negative codings, what experiences because of were there, because of which there had been a very deep rooted instilled fear inside me, and how I can actually become make my state of mind more stronger, because
Yeah.
the situation is not going to go away, the fear is not going to go away. The only thing which is in your control is how you fluctuate or how you take control of your mind.
Absolutely.
Like, are you actually believing in what you are thinking about,
Mm.
or are you actually thinking that even if it is happening, I still have the power within me to get things done? Keeping that fear aside. It should not be bothering me or disturbing me. For a major period of time, because that's something that will lower your productivity as well. So every time if my manager calls me and if I think that something bad has happened, that's going to hamper my own self confidence. He
Yes.
could also call you to appreciate as well. So we do not give that thought, right? So it is up to
Absolutely.
us what we want to believe, why that call has come. The uncertainty, when what we talk about the fear of uncertainty, we also have to think that something good can also happen with that
Absolutely.
uncertainty. It is not
Yes.
always that something bad has to happen.
Absolutely, Saloni. I agree fully with you. Okay, at times, especially when you are at work and whenever you're being called by your seniors, your boss, the first thought which comes into your mind is that what have I done wrong?
What have I done?
Maybe it could, and it could be because of the condition of the work. It could be because of the kind of response you have been getting from a boss or your friends on your work. So at times that also creates a small kind of a doubt in your mind as to
Absolutely.
have I done
I think doubt
anything
is
wrong?
the biggest root or seed for fear, because
Absolutely.
we're not certain exactly
Mm.
what's going around. What is something which is coming to us. So that is what creates that fear, the fear of uncertainty. I think that is a major one. When I'm going out, I always fear that should I come back safely. I had also faced an accident. So
Mm.
after that, I ensure that I should not stop riding a two-wheeler, because
Mm.
that will create a very deep rooted fear in me that if I ride a two wheeler, I might get into an
Mm.
accident even after having that. So I've already
Yeah.
faced it. So it's
Yeah.
very important that you have to train your mind that it will not happen all the time. Accident
Absolutely.
is just an accident.
Yeah. And also somebody mentioned that Sheena says that even what will the others think is another big reason for fear. At times we don't do things, especially when it comes to our society or our friends or relatives. Many a times we stopped from taking a particular step because we are not very sure as to what will people think. Log kya kahenge? So because of that, what log kya kahenge, we many times we don't do what we want to do with confidence. And that is where it becomes important, as Nasia says, that we have to equip ourselves to feel safe. And once we have done that, then we will be able to overcome the fears that are running in our mind, and also help us become more confident to face those fears. And one more thing which comes to my mind is at times, mm, you know, our thought pattern also decides the way we are reacting or responding to a particular situation, either before this happens or even after that happens. Like you must have seen, at times, certain very intense situations or events make you stronger, and suddenly you find that you are doing certain things which you have not even imagined in your life that you'd be able to do it. It comes in the form of physical courage, it comes in the form of moral courage, it also comes in the form of uh, you coming out and doing certain extraordinary things. And as Nasia says, when through a lot of trauma, you tend to be hyper vigilant. So when you are hyper vigilant, then also fear will be the first thing that will come to your mind. And we need healing and movement of the body to release that. Yeah. So Divya, what about you? Have you some experience of this kind to share with us and our audience?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the thing is, I think what we are scared of, if we do that again and again, then we
Mm,
are able to overcome fear. And I could really relate to what Saloni also said. Like she said that, with me also it happened at my workplace once that, my boss, like my manager, like he just wrote to me on on our internal messaging. He said, come to room number so and so. I want to talk to you.
mhm,
So like I was really scared. Like I thought, why is he calling me? What has happened? Maybe I've done something wrong. So I was very scared, and then the colleague who was sitting beside me, I told her also. I said, I don't know what have I done. So she said, no, no, you go, nothing, go ahead. So then I just went, and then he said, I have received this email from so and so client that you really helped him a lot, and the way you serviced him, and he really liked that. So I wanted to tell you about that this mail has come for you for the appreciation. So I
mhm,
wanted to appreciate you and thank you. So but I was thinking in my mind, I don't know, like what has happened. So I mean, it is in your mind only. A lot of times it's only in our mind, it's not happening in reality, it's just a illusion. And then we build up on that, and then we keep on overthinking, and finally, like, we get paralyzed by that fear.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's what I want to share. And even one more thing, like, like you were telling about bike, like even when you learn to drive a car, like the
Mhm,
same thing happens. Initially you are really scared, and in fact it happened with me also. I mean, I was really scared, and I met with an accident also once or twice. And then after that, for some time I literally stopped driving because I was so scared that, I'll again meet with an accident. And
mhm.
then I took it for some time, and then again now I've left it. So I think I need to pick it up again. So I need to
Mhm.
overcome this fear. So that's what
Absolutely.
I need to do.
Yeah. And Neeta says that it needs to start with having faith in yourself. And so the brain is designed for survival skills, and hence it looks for the worst possible outcomes. Yes, most of the time
Absolutely.
we are tuned to always whenever we are trying to do something new, we start with the thinking as to what can go wrong instead of what can go right. And if you remember in your childhood, so many times when you tell your parents that you want to say do something, the first thing they will do, they'll ask you, तुम कैसे करोगे? तुमको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. So our system of upbringing our children is also made in such a way that we always, whenever somebody wants to do something new, put a seed of doubt in his or her mind. How can you do that? You can't do that. You don't have the capability. You are so small, or you are a girl. How can you do that? These are the things to be done by boys. Like I'm sure Divya, you and Saloni must have also faced that kind of what we call bias in your family towards you compared to your brother. Like if your brother wants to do something, they will always be encouraged to do it. But when you want to do something, they will first ask you, "How can you do that?" They
And
put
a very
a
common
seed.
example is, being late night. If you go out late
Yes,
night, like
yes,
you have
absolutely.
to be there on time while he can go out because he's a guy. So I think conditioning is also very
Conditioning
important,
is
as far
very
as,
important. Yes,
everything starts from there.
yes,
Everything starts from your childhood.
yes,
This fear which we develop, the tendencies of the fear, like some people are more fearful than the others.
uh,
Like, some incidents could be more fearful for me, and it could be something very normal for someone else, depending
absolutely.
upon their state of mind, depending upon their nature, depending upon, what kind of conditioning they have. So yes, this conditioning plays a very major role in instilling fear, or any sort of emotions which we grow up with. Someone,
Absolutely.
grows up with an anger, someone grows up with doubt, they will doubt everything. They will not trust at all.
Yes,
Trust issues. So I think fear is also one of the instilled emotions, which is also a result of the conditioning with which we are, upbringing has been done, for most of us.
absolutely.
So it's very important that how we actually condition our children. The root starts from there. How we can actually help them instill that self-confidence from the childhood itself.
Hmm. So you brought a very important point, Saloni, here that actually everything starts from your family, because family is the foundation stone, and where how you are brought up in your childhood, and that also at times make one person very fearless and courageous. They are ready to go out and do things which other people don't want to do. And there's another category of children who have been conditioned or brought up in such a manner that they don't take any initiative. They will always be the backbencher, or they'll stand on the sides and let other people take the do things and also take the limelight. Whereas even though they have the capability, they know everything, but still something stops them from coming up and you know taking that one step to move forward. I want to ask one thing from you first, Divya, and then Saloni. That now that we have figure out the reason for which people become fearful, or the reason why fear is instilled in our mind, that it has been conditioned, or we are conditioned in a manner that we are always scared, or resistant, or something is stopping us from taking so what can be done, starting from the parents, because ultimately parents are the ones who are the foundation, who lay the foundation of the thought process in itself. So what can the parents do differently in order to make the children more confident and courageous, so that they can become fearless, and don't be stopped by fear of doing or not doing certain things.
Yeah, actually, I feel, because I always tell my parents that, you were very
More
overprotective.
protective.
So that's the reason that, I am scared of certain things, I don't take the initiative, and I'm scared of certain things. So, but I think they, from their side, were doing good only.
Hmm.
But the thing is, it affects you, if from childhood your parents have been very overprotective, then, when you grow up, certain things you feel ki ab main kaise karungi, how will I do this,
Yeah,
because then I mean, parents will not always be there in every situation, so
absolutely.
then you're not handle that situation, and it gets very difficult to come out of it. And still I face that at times. I mean, I'm not blaming them or anything. I mean, they were from their side, trying to be how parents are,
Yes.
for their children. So yeah. So I think the parents should not be that overprotective. They should allow their children to do whatever they are doing, and allow them to try new things, and don't tell them that don't do this, don't do that, this will happen if you do this, that will happen, think, if you do this might happen. So I mean, that they should not be doing, and they should allow them to do whatever they want to try, anything new or whatever they want to do, even if they have not done it before. Let them do it. They will learn it themselves. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, they'll make mistakes, but then finally they will learn. So that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Yeah. If we as parents allow, encourage our children to take the risk, and so the once they are their mind is conditioned that it's okay to take risks, it is also okay to fail, because fear of failure is another very very important thing which prevents people from doing certain new things. So it is okay to fail, and you if you learn from your failure, and then you will be definitely be doing the same thing again in a better manner. That is also very very important thing that can be followed by the new age parents. And so, what about you, Saloni?
I
What are your thoughts on this?
absolutely agree with what Divya said, that parents should first of all should not stop children from doing things. There is always, when we say now, like when today's children, I'm especially talking about them, they
Mhm.
want to try. Like,
Yeah.
let's at least give it a try. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. If it works, works. So I think it is very important for parents to stop taking decisions for their children.
Yes.
Instead, they can help them, letting them know that if you are going to do this, this could be the pros of doing that, or this could be the cons of doing that. Now they should help them get thinking about how to take that decision. They now know, like, if I do this, 1 2 3 will be something which will be useful for me, and 4 5 6 will be something which will be, that should not have happened, or that is the con of doing that particular decision. And when they take a decision, even if it has been right or wrong, the consequences no one knows.
Mm.
But you have to really stand by them, even with those consequences, if it is not in favor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Taking it as, okay, even if you have failed, that is an experience. I will give you a very small story
Mhm.
actually, and it happened. No, I just heard it. I was having this conversation with my friend.
Mhm.
She's married. She's for 10 years, she was married, and her in laws never allowed her to go anywhere outside, alone. So for the first time, she flew to Delhi from, a different city. She
Mhm.
flew alone because of some reason. She had to fly alone. So she was like, I, at least after 10 years, have got the chance to fly alone.
Mhm.
She went there and everything went smoothly. While coming back, her flight was at the night,
Okay.
and she was like, if my flight is around 9:30, and if I reach here by 11:30, I'll book a cab and I'll reach home.
Mm.
Nothing, no big deal. It will go as it is. But the flight got delayed,
Oh.
and after the flight, they boarded the flight because of the weather conditions of the place they were about to land was not favorable.
Mhm.
The flight had to be in the midair for 1.5 hours, and then it had to get a layover into another city. Like she said, that they had to stop in Varanasi for refueling, and then they have to again start doing it.
Mhm.
So that took a lot of time, and instead of reaching the place at 11:30, the original time, she reached in the morning 5:30
Mm.
without even any fault of hers. I understand that her family was very,
Yeah.
concerned. They're afraid exactly.
What happened? Mm.
The phones were switched off. But when she reached home, it was like, from now on, you will never go anywhere alone.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the thing. And she was like, for the first time in my life, I got that courage and I got that thing that I will fly up alone. And I actually came back. It was not even my fault, Saloni. And
Mm.
that is where I realized, instead of saying that you will not go anywhere alone, they should have actually appreciated the fact that she managed all on her own,
Absolutely.
even after going there for the first time, right? It was not her fault. If the flight got delayed, it can happen to anyone.
Absolutely.
Still, she was also stressed out.
Mm.
Okay, I have to reach
Mm.
home. She was also very tired.
Mm.
So, and instead of saying that, okay, it was an experience, it's okay that has happened, at least you now know how to manage things.
Absolutely.
So I think that is what the perspective will change, that even if the consequences are not in your favor,
Mm.
there is something still good in that experience. There is something still good that you are about to learn into that experience. Now at least she knows in adverse situation how to manage things,
Yeah.
how to keep herself calm. So I think that was a learning experience. It was not about going alone or coming back alone. More than that, it was how to manage the things in between as well, her own self, and the situations around her.
Absolutely.
So absolutely, that's what Divya said, as parents should not spoon feed their child all the time. Instead, they should leave them free, but be there. It's not that they should leave them at all. They should be giving them their experience. Like, if I have an experience about something, I can let someone who is new to it, and just let them know, from my experience, I feel this could be done, and this is something which is not favorable. Now let the other person take the decision. Whatever the consequences, stand by them and help them see the good in that experience. That can help, overcome their fear. That will not create a fear in them. They will always have this thing that, okay, whatever is happening, I'm still learning something. I'm still learning something. The fear will change to a learning
Yeah.
experience. So that's what I think that conditioning could be done.
Absolutely. And to add to what you said, Saloni had instead of telling your friend that no, you will not go alone, they would have said, okay, so, yeah, in spite of things not going the way they were supposed to go, you still managed to stay calm
Absolutely.
and you were
Correct.
able to handle the situation very well. And so if you appreciate them, it makes them more powerful, it makes them more confident, it makes them feel more empowered. As Neeta says, that
Absolutely.
empowering your children how to make decisions and bounce back if the result is different from what was expected. And also assuring that whatever may be the result, we are there with you, we are standing behind you to support you. So you don't have to
Absolutely.
worry,
Yes.
you don't have to fear of things failing, or you don't have to fear that what will happen if something doesn't happen the way I want it to happen. So that is really very, very important. And somebody says that parents' concern when it turns to fear and overprotectiveness. Yes, parents most times the standard thing which they will say that we are saying this because we are concerned about your safety, we are concerned about your well-being. So it is okay that you're concerned about it, but your concern can be expressed in a different manner. Instead of putting the seed of doubt in that mind of your child, you can say, okay, you're doing this. However, be prepared to, you should have a backup plan. Be prepared to handle the situation if they don't go the way you want them to happen. So that if we have that kind of a mindset as parents, and if we are build the same kind of mindset in our children also, that will make them much more empowered, and that will also make them courageous to overcome any kind of fear which will come in their way. Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing I would want to ask both of you, Saloni, is that uh, how how can people um, uh, become confident, and how can people, what steps can they take to condition their mind to handle adverse situations. And Nasia says, how can we link confidence and fearlessness?
So here I would say again, as Ninja was also saying, fear is sometimes your survival instinct
Yes.
also, right? Like your brain suddenly starts, which if they, sense something, which you need to, back off from. Like if you don't have that fear, that survival instinct will not be there. But
Yes.
at the same time, if one, it is not always bad, but when it is something which becomes over, out of your handle, that you are not
Yes.
able to handle, and it becomes over, you
Bearing.
can say over fear. Exactly, yes, totally. Like, it has become a part of your life, that anything, any small thing is happening and you are feeling afraid first, and then you are thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is, again, as we always see, is the belief. It's a
Yes.
belief in yourself. So it's important first to know your own self, your own potentials. That if certain things happen, am I strong enough? Or what are the qualities situations?
Yes.
Not everyone is born with same qualities, right? I could be good in something, and I have to really know it, that what I'm exactly good in, and I have to amplify that strength within me to overcome that fear. So basically, it's knowing about what exactly you are best at, what exactly you can do, make those your weapons and strengths to overcome or battle that fear which is crippling you again and
Absolutely.
again. So
Absolutely.
that is what I feel.
Mhm. What about you? What are your take on this, Divya?
Yeah, I think like confidence and fearlessness, I think they're interlinked. I mean, that's what I believe. I mean, if you are confident, I think you will not fear things also that much. So I would just like to tell you one incident, like, once a few years back only, like even I never used to travel alone, like as Saroni was saying. So few years back only, I traveled alone from Mangalore to Delhi. So it was via Mumbai. So there was a like I had to change aircraft in Mumbai. So I mean from Mangalore to Mumbai I came, and but when I came to Mumbai, what happened is I did the security check and everything, and I was just reaching where you can just go ahead and you can board the plane, and suddenly
Yeah.
one person he told me that you had to had that tag on your even your handbag. So
Okay.
that I don't know how it just dropped somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, where, I mean, he says, where's your tag? Your tag is not there, ma'am. So he said, you have to go back at the security check and you have to put that tag, do the security check again, and then you have to come. I said, but there's very little time left. I'll miss my flight. So he said, no, no, ma'am, don't worry. I'm here. You will not miss your flight. You go. If there is something like that, then I'll announce. You will hear it over there. So I said, okay. So I went back all the way, did the security check again, and came. But all this while, I was so scared that, I'll miss my flight. I'll miss my flight. So, so I think that is got to be, I mean, it's interlinked to confidence also. Like if I was feeling more confident, then I think I wouldn't have, that fear wouldn't have affected me that much. But it really, and when I reached there, I got into the plane, I had a sigh of relief. Finally, I'm seated in the plane and all. So, yeah, that is it, what I wanted to share. Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely, Divya. And one more thing which came to my mind when we were talking about this was that one is that you have to build up confidence, you have to be prepared properly, and also you should have the basic knowledge of doing certain things if you are doing it for the first time, and you should also have some backup plans in terms of what will you do if something goes wrong, like thinking of the consequences of what you are going to do, and also if things don't happen the way you want to happen, then what should be your plan B? And another thing, what also we can do is we can have a support system or support some partner or friend with us who can be there with us, or who can be looking behind your back, so that in case something doesn't go the way you want to do or something goes back, that person will be there with you to help you move forward and overcome the situation, or take control of the situation if it goes beyond your hand or beyond of control. So that is another thing that we can do. And really, it was a great, I would say, experience sharing this platform with both Divya and Saloni, and you really shared some very important things with our audience, and I'm sure they would have enjoyed listening to you as much as I did. And as Nasia said, that when we write down obstacles, one may have to achieve a goal. It also gives the mind clarity how to navigate without edits there. Yes, absolutely, Nasia. So this is a very important point which Nasia brought, that if we write down a plan of action, then and also write down the step that we have to do, and also write down the consequences, all the plan B and other things. So then it becomes more easier for us, and our mind is also conditioned to handle the situation in a better manner. And you also have that confidence that yes, I am ready, I am prepared, and I can handle the things the way anything which will come to my way, whether it is in my favor or whether it is not in my favor. I will still be able to handle things, and I also have the backup. I also have those, as you mentioned, superpowers and super weapons. Your armory in the form of the support that you have from your friends, or the backup plan, which will help you overcome the situation the way you want to do it. So that is really great. And Aruna said we can plan well, but we have to be prepared for unseen situation too. Yes, absolutely, Aruna. And where there's a this remind me of Peter's principle. When things have to go wrong, they will go wrong, irrespective of how well prepared you are. And I think that is what happened last week, Divya, when because of the technology, you could not come up on the live, and I had to do, I had to handle the thing on my own alone. So it was a learning experience for me because it can happen with anybody. And every failure, every what you call adverse situation, as uh, Saloni also mentioned, it gives you a new learning experience and also makes you more powerful, more strong, more courageous. Yes. So thank you very much, Divya and Saloni, and thank you everyone who are there on the call for attending this session and also sharing your insights, especially Nasiha and Aruna and of course Nita and both Nita from South Africa and Nita from Pune. And thank you very much. I'm looking forward to have more such interactions with you in the days to come. And so, what would be your one last parting shot for our audience? First, Divya and then Saloni.
Yeah, first of all, Colonel Dite, I would like to thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you, Saloni, and
Thank you.
everyone. And my parting thought would be that, once we are able to, overcome one small fear, then, it gives us the courage to go for the next one, a bigger one, next one. So I mean, we should start with small fears, and then we can gradually move on to the bigger ones. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's my,
Thank you.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Saloni.
And thank you, Colonel Aditya and Divya, for joining, and all our audience who have joined for this call. I've heard a quote, and like life is what happens when you are busy making other plans.
Yeah.
So there will be something uncertain always happening, even if you plan it out, right? So your armory and your suit of armors which will protect you will be your strength, areas of your strength. So please work on your areas of your strength and amplify it.
Yeah.
So innate design of thinking things out. I think even if a situation which has not happened to me before and it is happening, the very first thing my mind will think about all the other things which I can use, to come out of it, to come out of that situation. If it is something which I'm very afraid of, so it's very important. Work on yourself and your strengths to build more confidence that even if an unfavorable situation without it's an unseen situation which you have not even thought what exactly you are capable of doing. Like
Absolutely.
someone's strength could be communication, some other people's strength could be something else. So you know that you can talk your way out. Someone else knows that I'm better in this, so I can do this, which can help me get out of this situation. So we have to know our strengths first. So that is very important when it comes to overcoming fear.
Absolutely. And that also reminds me that we should also have that mental flexibility. So to change our course of action if the situation so demands. Like
Adaptability.
we should be like flowing water that it'll change its course depending upon the kind of obstacles it is facing, but it never
Absolutely,
stops.
yes.
It
Correct.
never stops. And
Rigidity will not help.
absolutely. And as Nasia says, fear is a small road bump that looks like a mountain. Enjoy the ride. Yes, absolutely. Enjoy the ride. And thank you very much, everybody. Thank you and have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. And we'll see you again next Saturday, same time, and with something new. And in case somebody wants us to speak about a specific topic, do let us know and we'll talk about that. Or if any challenge you're facing, or if there's something which is bothering you and you want some clarity about it, do let us know and we'll attempt to handle those things. And thank you very much. Thank you and have a great weekend. Bye
Thank
bye. Take care.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.